Okeechobee Music Festival was a fantastic experience, and I'm extremely happy to have been a part of it in 2016. I want to give a quick review and how this kind of compares to the first year of other festivals that I've attended. First of all, I think the lineup this year was fantastic. I think that's what drew a lot of people to the festival. One downside I had with it was that the headliner sets for Kendrick and Skrillex were extremely short at an hour and 15 minutes. Now, that's really a shame when these headliners were playing with a lot of passion and were a show that you really want to hear. I will say that this has got to be a function of the budget and was based on the fact that they had to spend a lot of money up front to even have those performers play in the first place. Either way, the lineup was fantastic and it was definitely the biggest draw of the entire weekend. And one thing that I really liked about the festival was that it was easy to get around. This is a function of the festival being on the smaller side with 3 stages, but it was also easy to get to the campsites. The walk was not too bad, maybe 20 minutes to get to the campsite that I was located in. And moreover, if you wanted to spend a couple dollars, you could get on a bike and have someone bike you around, which is really kind of fun and unique and something that I have not seen so far at other festivals like Firefly. One thing that I think the festival needs to improve upon, though, is the reception at the campsites. There are mobile towers that you can get from the cell providers, and I think they must have had these inside the festival gates because usually I had reception inside, but at the campsites nothing was going through. And for instance, when they tout the mobile app as something that's going to be very useful to you in terms of keeping track of the festival, but the mobile app doesn't load because there's no reception at the campsites, it makes it kind of hard for planning your day. One thing that I would want to point out, not necessarily a negative, but it just got really cold at night, so prepare accordingly next year if you guys do attend. Overall, I think there were really cool people. I was happily surprised at the significant feeling of culture that you had at Okeechobee. That's something that you don't see at newer festivals like Firefly, for instance, or Boston Calling, which isn't as new, but you don't normally see that much culture for something in its first year, and that was something that I really appreciated. It was a great experience. I really appreciate that festival season was able to start early. I met some interesting people, and if the lineup is in the same ballpark as this year, I would definitely consider going again next year. That's Okeechobee Music Festival.
Alright, so I'd say the lineup is definitely, pretty incredible if you compare it to a lot of festivals' first years. Most of the volunteers didn't seem to know what was going on, and also it changed from whether or not you were allowed to leave the campsite with your car or not. You were allowed to Friday, you weren't allowed to Saturday, Sunday you were allowed to again, so that was pretty confusing. They did a pretty good job. They have their water refill station set up, the food and everything, information set up. The schedule pamphlets are not everywhere. Those are usually everywhere for a lot of the festivals, even the first year. But the lineup was solid in general.
Champagne showers.